So good morning, woodpeckers. We are nearly finished column addition. I think you've got today's lesson, okay, and then I believe you've got maybe a deliberate practice starting on Thursday, which is a recap, and another deliberate practice on Friday, and then column addition is done, okay. We will look at then column subtraction next week, where instead of calling it regrouping, we call it exchange, okay. So let's just go through what we're doing. 4-digit number, you're going to add to a 2-digit number. That's where it's going to get tricky, because remember, you're only going to have a value in the tens and the ones column, and you might get multiple regroupings. Okay, so here's our horizontal number, 7,555 added to 85, which is a 2-digit number. Okay, so remember, a 2-digit number only contains ones and tens, hence why I've made it really simple by putting in my column titles. Okay, so we always start with the ones column, then we move on to the tens. Any regrouping we put it underneath the doorstep. Okay, so there might be multiple regroupings today, so it might be regroupings in the tens column, the hundreds, and maybe even the thousands. So let's start. 5 at 5, okay, simply as it says here, is 10. 10 is made up of no units and 110. Okay, so I put my number that I regroup underneath the doorstep and I leave it there, and I'm going to add it on. Now, choices, you can either add it on at the start, so 1 at 8 plus 5, or add it on at the end. I don't mind, as long as you cross it off when you've added it on. I might start with it at the start, because 8 add 1 is 9. Add to 5 is 14. 14 is 140, isn't it? Because it's 14 tens. So let me just write my 14 in, 14 tens, because we know that 140 is the same as 14 tens. And when we regroup it, we know that 140 is made up of 4 tens and 1 100. Okay, so that's what that number represents. 1 100, 4 tens, 140, or 14 tens. Okay, so let's move on to the hundreds column. 6 add 1 is 7, and when I've added it on, I must make sure I cross it out. Okay, and then I've got thousands, nothing to add on in thousands. Okay, I don't mind if you add in your zeros in your thousands and hundreds column to signify that you're not adding on any values, because it's only a 2-digit value. So 7 and 0 is 7. Okay, that's your answer. Make sure that you put the 2-digit number in the correct place. Okay, that's the key today. By all means, put your space savers in your zeros to indicate there's no hundreds in that number and there are no thousands in that number, and make sure your regrouping is added on as you go and add up the column values. Okay, it's quite simple. So today, tomorrow we do deliberate practice, Friday we do deliberate practice, and I think we move on to subtraction next Monday. Best of luck.